Good evening, HalfStack. Or afternoon, or morning, or whatever time or day or night it might be where you are. Here in London, it's... I actually don't know what time this is going to be broadcast. Right now, it's yesterday. And yesterday is Thursday, but it feels like it's been Thursday for about 2 months. So I have no idea what time it is, but it doesn't really matter because I have about 20, 30 minutes. So I'm going to ruin some songs for you by taking songs that you know and love, songs about things that people think matter, like true love and loneliness and the state of the world. And I'm going to show all of you that actually those songs really should have been written about the things that actually matter, like JavaScript and web development and software. We're going to kick it off with this one. Handlebars, hibernate, solar, activate, falcon, flask, and silver stripe, and typo 3 flow. Agave, Pixie, Hazar, MVC, code ignite to lithium, and PR radio. Raphael, Bobo, Bottle and Tornado, Django, Cherry Pie, and WSGI, Glass Hammer, Web Sphere, Red Bin, Turbo Gears, Albatross, Aquarium, Selenium, and WebPy. We're gonna build a framework, cause we wanna use one but don't wanna choose one. We're gonna build a framework. We didn't like the other, so we'll write another. Sidecar, Tapestry, Maverick, and JSP, Barracuda, Acaramba, Groovy on Rails, Intercal on Interstates, Cascade and Hibernate, JDBC, Ruby on Rails, Jasmine, Doctrine, Java Forms Engine, Active Record, D3, Dapper and Velocity, Time Leaf, Top Link, Pyramid, Rethink, Rico, Midori, and Mojito. We're gonna build a framework, cause we wanna use one but don't wanna choose one. We're gonna build a framework. We didn't like the other, so we'll write another. Site Mesh, Simply, Enterprise, Java Pins, Hug, Crack, Boost, Click, anything by Telerik, Rango, Dojo, LLVL, Gen Pro, Carbonado, Seaside, Pylons, and Pyroxide. Fusebox, Backflex, Service Stack, Silex, Carbon, Cocoa, Ample, and Giotto, Banshee, Symphony, Laravel, Fat Free, Macapeka, Hobo, Cuba, and Rialto. We're gonna build a framework. Wanna use one but don't wanna choose one. We're gonna build a framework. We didn't like the other, so we'll write another. Open REST and Nancy, ASP.NET, MVC, Kendo, Zendo, DBC, and Tempo, Java Server Faces, Entity Spaces, Cappuccino, Spec, Flow, Polymer, JDO, Google Web Toolkit, no need to learn JavaScript, JDK, code away. What else do I have to say? We're gonna build a framework, cause we wanna use one but don't wanna choose one. We're gonna build a framework. We didn't like the other, so we'll write another. Bootstrap, Backbone, Query, Animate, Mustache, Tempo, Ionic, and Allegro. Bootstrap, Backbone, running on an iPhone. Mobile app is going live, built in HTML5. Angular, Scriptaculous, React, Redux, Knockout, Ember. Does anyone remember? Just like in the browser wars, I explore in Netscape 4, Lodash versus underscore, and I can't take it anymore. We're gonna build a framework, cause we wanna use one but don't wanna choose one. We're gonna build a framework. We didn't like the other, so we'll write another. We're gonna build a framework. No one wanna use one but don't wanna choose one. We're gonna build a framework. We didn't like the other, so we'll write another. Thank you. Of course, here in 2020, in the age of COVID-19, everyone stopped building frameworks, and now they're building their own online event platforms. So the chorus of that should really be something like, we're gonna build a platform, 'cause we want to use one, but don't want to choose one. We're gonna build a platform. Well, there's something, but I don't know. So yeah, like I said, welcome to HalfStack Online. It's a little bit weird, you know. It's not quite the same as all being together in person, which I miss desperately, but we can have some fun anyway. So I'm going to do a song now for all of you out there who've ever worked in a big company. You know, one of the big companies where you start work there in October and you don't get your password until November, but that doesn't matter because you don't get a laptop until December. And if you want to install a NPM package, you get to fill out a form with the URL where you can download it, and then you get your boss to sign the form and you fax it to information security, who review the package. And if your request is successful, they'll send you your package on a CD-ROM, which is fine because your laptop still has a CD-ROM drive, because developers get a new laptop every 15 years, whether they need it or not. And that's when you start suspecting that maybe in the interview where they talked about DevOps and continuous delivery and Agile, maybe they were just saying the things that they thought might make you work there, and that actually what you've ended up on is the worst kind of project. You've ended up on an enterprise waterfall project. We don't test our integrations. We don't use no source control. We can't deploy things to production. We check our email and go home. Hey, coders, email and go home. All in all, it's just an enterprise waterfall. All in all, it's just an enterprise waterfall. We don't test our integrations. We don't use no source control. We can't deploy things to production. We check our email, then go home. Hey, coders, email and go home. All in all, it's just an enterprise waterfall. 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 It's kind of weird when you're doing these like live streamed events because you finish a song and you're like, but I'm going to assume that you're all out there and you're all clapping and applauding, and that was the coolest thing you ever heard because, hey, what else are you going to do? It's not like you can go to the pub. They're all shut, and they have been for weeks. There we go. Let's just recalibrate. This, by the way, this guitar was built in React by Ken Wheeler. Now, I don't know if you know this, but if you look very closely, see this bit here? That's a scalable React component, that is. Yeah, 100% Ken's own handiwork. He coded this himself. I was actually playing around with Ken's online music application thing earlier today. It's cool. It's actually really fun. And I don't know what he's doing here at HalfStack. But yeah, check it out. There should be some fun stuff in there. Right. So let's mix things up a little bit. I'm going to switch hardware on this one. And this will be fun, because normally when I do this, I have a domain expert to handle the hardware for me. But we're going to do things a little differently here tonight. Cables are the bane of the home network office recording studio. There are wires everywhere, and I kind of don't have very much idea what most of them do. Let me move this thing up here and swing that in. There we go. Everything in my life now has been tripod mounted because this is just this is how we do things now. So there we go. That's nice. All right, so. It's 9 o'clock on a Saturday. You should be out having fun, but there's one bug left in your backlog, and you're not going out till it's done. You checked all your database indexes, you tuned all your API hooks, and you're starting to think that you might need that drink, 'cause there's only one place left to look. Oh, la da da di da, la da da di da. There must be a bug in the JavaScript. The bug's in the JavaScript app, 'cause everything else was built properly, but the front end's a pile of crap. Now no, that's a reference to nothing. Don't mix it up with undefined. And the zero and man and infinity man, just remember which ones can be signed. And you think that your numbers are integers when you're really in a floating point hell. and your objects are hashes. But when your code crashes, you'll find they were functions as well. Whoa, la da da dee da, la da da dee da da dum. There must be a bug in the JavaScript. The bug's in the JavaScript app, 'cause everything else was built properly, but the front end's a pile of crap. Now JavaScript's not a bad, now there it is. Now JavaScript's not a bad language, though it's frequently misunderstood. But before you see what you can use it for, please stop to think whether you should. Because just about everything's true here. It's all part of the language design, except 0 blank strings, the array of no things, and the end of 1969. Whoa, la da da dee da, la da da dee da da dum. There must be a bug in the JavaScript. The bug's in the JavaScript app, 'cause everything else was built properly, but the front end's a pile of crap. And of course, the best part about that is I'm not actually a piano player. I normally have somebody who does that when we do this stuff live, which is either my dear friend Vagif or Microsoft PowerPoint playing some MP4 videos. But what the hell? Everything goes weird here in the lockdown upside down. So I figured, what the hell, let's give it a go. Let me move this back so you can get the crazy guitar angle there, because that's what makes all of this not weird, is crazy camera angles, right? Right? Hey, hello? Oh, man. Yeah, wait a second. Oh, there we go. Hey, that's very... Oh, man, right. That's better. Back on a familiar musical hardware once again. That's nice. What haven't we done? Oh yeah, I know. Here we go. I just dropped 2 picks inside the guitar in a row. That's how you can tell it's been a long day. So you think this is live. It's taken me like 3 hours to get this 20, what are we on? 22 minutes and 48 seconds so far of footage that hasn't gone wrong yet. We're going to try that again. You ready? W3C, RFC, a JIRA ticket and a style guide. I deploy with FTP, run it all on the client side. Don't need Ruby, don't need Rails, ain't nothing running on my stack. I'm hardwired for web scale. Yeah, I'm gonna bring the 90s back. I'm shipping HTML, 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 HTML. No logins, no trackers, no cookie banners to ignore. I ain't afraid of no hackers, just the occasional 404. They hating what I do, that's 'cause they don't understand. Mark it up, break it down. Remember to escape your ampersands. We're shipping HTML, 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 static HTML, compliant HTML, dynamic HTML. But it's really just markdown. HTML's great. And it is a programming language. If you write HTML, you're a programmer. Too much bloody emphasis on the procedural programming model of thinking of programming as a set of instructions that describe to the computer how to do the thing you want. Why don't you just tell the computer what you want and let the machine figure it out? It's probably smarter than you, and it's a hell of a lot better at arithmetic. CSS is programming. HTML is programming. Prolog is programming. If you can describe the problem, you are programming. Don't worry about having to describe the solution. We have machinery for that. Now, I'm going to do a new song for you now. This is all weird, isn't it? The world that we live in and all the stuff that's going on. And this song kind of popped into my head very, very late last night. And I got better things to be doing. But when an idea kind of clicks, you're like, and it won't go away. And you have to sort of sit down and do something with it and have a go. And this came together pretty quickly. Time will tell whether, this is something that will ever get repeated or not. But I'm going to do it for you tonight, here live at HalfStack Online. And this is, something new about all the stuff that's happening in the world right here, right now. It's called Conference 2020. Oh, we were all looking for things to inspire us when it was all shut down by coronavirus. Now we're in quarantine, whatever that means. We've taken all the regulations to heart. We had to stay at least 2 meters apart. Wear a mask, wash your hands, tear up all your plans. But do you recall the jet lag and long haul? The world felt very small. Now it's all slowed to a crawl. You know I really miss you all. So I said, let's all meet up at a virtual conference. Won't it be Let's all meet up at a virtual conference. Put on your webcam and your microphone. Still get together even though we're home alone. Let's all pretend that this isn't weird. Certainly better than drinking on my own. They closed all the pubs on a Friday weeks ago. We're stuck inside till they develop a test. And although I know it's all for the best, my house is tidy but my head is a mess. And it's a wonder and I'm still getting dressed. Dear friends, I hope you're doing okay. Take a walk and get outside every day. Yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna get through this. And do you recall the jet lag and long haul? The world seemed very small, and nothing now to crawl, and I really miss you all. So I said, let's all meet up at a virtual conference. Switch on your webcam and your microphone. Even though we're home alone, let's all pretend that this isn't weird. Certainly better than drinking on my own. They closed all the pubs on a Friday weeks ago. What do you do next week on Monday? Same as Saturday and Sunday. It all blurs into one day. What are you doing next week Monday? Same as Saturday and Sunday. It all blurs into one day. Thank you, HalfStack. I'm Dylan Beattie. That was one of the weirder performances I've ever done, but I hope you enjoyed it. Enjoy the rest of the event. Have fun. I'll see you later. Take care.
Here we go.
That was brilliant, Dylan. Another HalfStack highlight there, I'm sure everybody...
Hold on, while I put down this guitar that I'm literally playing right now, live, of course. Why would anybody ever fake anything on the internet?
Doesn't happen. So I've seen you do this talk, and I've seen you do similar ones before, and they all seem to revolve around parody songs. Can you tell me more about the process of doing that, about how you turn a serious song and make it funny?
It's funny, they all start in different ways. The first one was the framework song, which was, I did a pub quiz, or a panel quiz at the Full Stack conference with Mark Rendell about, 3-4 years ago. And we had a round where we put up just a name, and the contestants had to tell us, is this a Transformers character or a JavaScript framework? And it turned out Banshee was a trick question, because that's actually both. And then there was in the same quiz, there was a Twitter bot, which is still out there, called We Didn't Start It, which is brilliant. What it does is it scans news headlines that are trending on Google, and it looks for pairs of headlines that rhyme, that could be lines from We Didn't Start the Fire, and it tweets them. And we were chatting afterwards, and Randall says to me, do you reckon there's enough JavaScript frameworks to rewrite that Billy Joel song? Now, you shouldn't say things like this to me, because there's only one way it's going to end. And so I was like, give me a minute. And actually, it took about a day. But I came up with that, and I recorded that, and I put that up on YouTube, and people kind of liked it. And the Enterprise Waterfall one, that came from a picture that David Neal did, which was just like the Pink Floyd wall thing, and he just wrote, throw the code over the wall. And I just thought, there's a whole thing about horrible Enterprise deployments, and they all come from somewhere different. And, you know, some of them just pop into my head like, ooh, that line there could be this line here. And I have this vast backlog of, like, one lyric that's been changed, like the final countdown, instead it's the network meltdown, or currently the global lockdown. And so and they float around, and eventually one of them will suddenly go, come on, sit down and do some work. Today is the day. You're going to make this into a song.
My mom was watching your song, and she asked me in chat, did he work at my company? It was great.
Well, I think, you know, the great comedy is, it stems from our ability to laugh at ourselves and the shit we put up with. Because it's not cruel, it's not, you know, it doesn't divide people, it unites us, and like, we all do this. We can all relate to that experience of, you know, working in a company where you're like, what do you mean it takes 6 weeks to get a laptop? Really? And you develop software professionally and use it to make, okay, all right, and you know, it's fun as well. It's a sort of nice added extra when you get invited to speak at a conference or something. I now get the P.S. Can you bring your guitar kind of tacked onto the end of it, and they do all the hard work. They fill a shed with developers, and they give them food and beer and get them all in a good mood, and then I just get up and do my thing, and I don't need to promote or sell tickets or anything. I just kind of ride on other people's publicity, which was great fun. Of course, now it all has to be online, which is a whole different set of challenges, but yeah, that's how it happens. I have no idea. They're all different.
It just comes to you.
Would you ever consider branching out of classic rock and going into, you know, maybe dropping the odd Disney classic in there?
At the moment, the Line Breakers, which is my conference band, which is a bunch of speakers who all also play instruments, we are trying to do a green screen composition live video. So there's Heather's in Kansas City, Donna's in London, in Richmond, Vergif's in Oslo, Hannes is in Antwerp, and all of them at the moment are recording isolated tracks that they're playing in front of a green screen, and I'm not going to tell you what the song is, but it is not classic rock. And there's some Eminem and some Linkin Park. Is Linkin Park classic rock? I don't know. I don't want to offend anybody.
You know, my one song at karaoke is One Step Closer, and it's really angry. But I could make up some JavaScript lyrics for it. I debuted that at JSConf last year, and I think I scared some people, including Ruth John. And Charlie was there too, I think. So, yeah.
No, I've seriously thought I have ideas. I want to do like a Disney show tunes kind of set and stuff. But it needs to be kind of familiarity is what makes the parodies work. Like, no one ever went, oh, this is really good. He's taken a song I've never heard of, and he's made all the jokes about a programming language I don't use. I need to stay and enjoy this. I can't imagine that's the thing that happens very much. So when we do it live, I always try and, say to the rest of the band, look, we're hitting three things here. One, the musicianship is good enough that people will actually enjoy the music because we're playing it pretty well, Two, the songs are songs that people know and they're familiar and that kind of thing. And three, the jokes are funny if you're looking for the jokes and you're the right kind of audience for that. And if all three of those things, if none of those works for you, you are dead to me, and I do not want you in my audience. So,
At least you're honest about that fact.
Yeah. I don't know many people that wouldn't find this funny from our crowd, so I think it's good. You're in the right place. Yeah.
The best people.
So you seem like a man who would take to lockdown in his stride. I see you've got a room full of musical instruments behind you, so you can obviously keep yourself entertained. And I know, looking at your Twitter, there's some really interesting things on your horizon. So what have you been doing to fill your time during this?
I mean, people are like, "Bored." I have no idea what that is. Like, I have so many things that we were chatting earlier in a couple of the speakers were talking in a Skype chat earlier about clutter, because a bunch of us have got our HalfStack lanyards, which, why would you keep this for a year? And I'm like, well, because it sparks joy when I touch it. The Marie Kondo thing doesn't work on me because I can pick up any piece of crap. Like, I could pick up an 8-bit network card from 1992, and I could be like, oh, this would be so good if I stuck it on the wall to make a prop for the engine room in a science fiction program I might make one day. I can't throw this out. So I have all these ideas, and I have all this stuff, and I've basically been turning my office, which is the second bedroom in my house, into a sort of, so I can give you a little virtual tour now. So that is the live streaming setup. So that's my main computer. But when I'm doing talks, I have the audience up on the massive TV there, and that's my PowerPoint notes, and that's the live chat from the Twitch, and that's YouTube, and that's something else. And so that's that thing. And that took, a bunch of metalwork and building things and shelves for like the amplifiers and the wireless microphone setup over there. And then this thing I built as well. This is the shelf on the piano that has all the other bits of gear. And let me grab this. So this was my fun lockdown project. This thing here is a keyboard. It's a USB keyboard that's actually a foot switch. So you can control OBS with your feet when you're playing guitar. And each of these is programmed. There's a Raspberry Pi Zero in here you can just see on the back. So this thing's running Python. And you plug it into a computer, and the PC goes, ooh, a keyboard, I know how to talk to those. And then you stamp on the first thing, and it sends Control F1. And OBS picks up Control F1, and it uses it to switch between scenes. Just let me refresh the focus on that camera, thank you.
Nice.
And so this is all part of a very elaborate setup to do live streamed conference party rock shows with multiple camera angles and stream the whole thing on Twitch and YouTube and actually be able to control the whole thing from one setup. But also it was fun. It's when everything's digital, when events are on a screen and work is on a screen and drinks are on a screen, to actually go and get some. This is 6mm bright steel that I had to drill and bend and shape and make this thing. And it's so nice to do something real, something you can actually go, yeah, that thing there is not digital and it's not going to suddenly disconnect. It's real and it's metal and I cut myself making it. And so that's a nice contrast to all the digital projects and stuff. And I've been doing that. I've been testing microphones and doing blog posts about running online events. I've been devouring books. Have any of you read the Revenger trilogy by Alistair Reynolds? It's like, Alistair Reynolds, he's this British science fiction author who is brilliant at coming up with physically plausible ways of doing awesome stuff he wants to write books about. He had this book, Terminal World, where he basically came up with a plausible premise for why steampunk might have to actually exist, and then wrote a book about it, which is fantastic. And Revenger is space pirates. It's literally pirates flying around the solar system in sailing ships that use solar wind. And there's just enough kind of physics behind it that it's not just a fairy tale. It's like he's actually thought about the orbital mechanics of space piracy. So I'm halfway through the third book in the Revenger trilogy at the moment, and I don't want it to end because I don't know what I'm going to read when that one runs out.
That's amazing. That's amazing. You have got us in the perfect mood for the next talk, which is Jen's talk about TikTok and dancing. So, because we were all dancing during your music. So, thanks so much for your amazing performance as always and sharing your insights. And it's lovely to have you at HalfStack, and we'll see you soon. Thanks, Dylan.
The next one, where that may be. Cheers.
Cheers.